Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yusrilsyah Limbanadi, a student of 5th semester of English Department Universitas Negeri Gorontalo. So in this video, I'm going to analyze and explain you about two novels for fulfill my final test of extensive reading. So the first novel is entitled The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and the second one is entitled Prince Caspian. These novels are written by the same author, Clive Staples Lewis, in the same series entitled The Chronicles of Narnia. So, did you guys know about this series? Well, The Chronicles of Narnia is a series of 7 fantasy novels written by Clive Staples Lewis. The series is set in the fictional realm of Narnia, a fantasy world of magic, mythical beasts, and talking animals. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to describe you about the author biography. So, who is Clive Staples Lewis? So, Clive Staples Lewis was born in Ireland 29th November 1908. He was a British writer and lay theologian. He was a strong Christian faith. He held academic position in English literature at both Oxford University and Cambridge University. He is best known for his works of fictions, especially the Chronicles of Narnia. So why did Lewis write these novels? Well, Lewis read and appreciated a lot of literature for young people when he was young. He was thinking about writing his own stories at that time. So Lewis was inspired by his Christian faith and by European mythology to write a Christian allegory which would work for children. He was in Oxford and knew Tolkien very well. In fact, they discussed their books, but then Tolkien did not approve that Lewis mixed Greek mythology with Norse mythology along with Father Christmas. Then they were separated by the idea and make their own story. So Lewis initially wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for his godchild Lucy. It seemed like this novel was going to be a single story about an adventure in Narnia, and then he got the idea for Prince Caspian, which again was going to be the last installment. So the Chronicles of Narnia consist of 7 novels, and in this video I'm going to analyze 2 of them about the theme, the characters, the settings, the plot, and the moral values. Okay, so first of all, The Lions, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The novel centers on 4 siblings and their relationship is excellent, the lion character of the story. The novel explores the role of good and evil, where Lewis uses magical realism to provide a background for the children characters as they fight an evil witch with the help of the lion. Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy are spending time with their uncle, an older man who is a professor. Lewis sets the book during the time London is experiencing a raid. The children find a room that contains a wardrobe. Although the other siblings are not too concerned about this find, it is Lucy who becomes more interested and finds more routes of coats. Shortly after that, Lucy finds herself no longer in the wardrobe, but in a forest. From here, Lewis introduced the characters of the forest, which include a faun and the White Witch, who claims herself a queen of Narnia. So Lucy takes several trips back to Narnia, with Edmund following her this time. Later in the story, the other children find themselves in the forest, with Lucy serving as their guide and instructor. By the end of the work, we learn that Peter's decision to obey Aslan makes it easy for the lion to kill the White Witch. The children receive crowns and turn home, and the end. Themes of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe includes good versus evil, betrayal, and siblings relationship. So in my opinion, the moral lessons of these novels are learning to believe in things that they never thought existed, especially with the older character as it Peter and Susan, who wants to act responsible and mature for the younger siblings. They have to learn to believe in Lucy and Aslan, to trust the beavers even if they just came into a new world. They also have to learn to believe in themselves. For example, at the end of the book, when he has to go to battle by himself because he thinks Aslan is dead, he has to learn to believe that he can lead the battle even with no help from others. Lucy also shows them how to believe during course of the book. Okay, so now we move to the second novel, The Prince Caspian. In this novel, he is a boy who has lived in a large fortress with his uncle Miraz. Caspian's father was king and brother of Miraz, but Miraz had murdered Caspian's father and took his place. It means that Prince Caspian is the rightful king of Narnia and Miraz is a usurper. Miraz seems content to train young Caspian to be his successor until his wife gives birth to a son. Then Miraz decides to murder Caspian. The prince rushes off into the night in a perilous ride to Archenland, but he does not reckon with the old Narnians who still lurk in the forest to the south. And some talking trees whip him off his horse and leave him at the mercy of people who have the most reason to hate him and the other Telmarine humans who have ruled Narnia for 10 generations. In my opinion, the moral lessons of Prince Caspian is change and growth. During the book, the Pevensies realize this adventure is not at all like their first. They are faced with new challenges and problems, and the Narnia they knew is not the Narnia that they came back to. Lucy is pushed by peer pressure and doesn't come to Aslan to no matter what. Peter and Susan are pressed, for they believe in Aslan and in their sister, and eventually find they don't believe as much as they used to. This cause their last time to Narnia sense of nostalgia comes when they find they are no longer the current kings and queens they used to be. This change and growth is in who they impact who they are as a Narnia. Well, that's all my explanation and analysis about these two novels. I do apologize for any mistakes and misinformations from this video. Thank you and wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.